So I talked to you about purpose, talked to you about plans. Now let's look at the process of a dreamer. The process of a dreamer. You still in Genesis 37:5. We read it said, then Joseph had a what? A dream. And when he told his brothers, they hated him even more. This is what I call the presentation stage. This is when you get it from God and you get excited. You know, God, I saw God gave me a dream, girl. I was up preaching. People was just shouting, but it was bucking. And people, I was laying hands, people getting up. That's the presentation stage. That's the introductory offer. You know, the introductory offer. They didn't tell you that after 6 months it's going up to $1,000. Yeah, you're getting it for $69 right now. That's the introductory offer. That's the initial. Some of y'all missing it. That's the presentation. That's when God show up and say, this is what I got for you. To whet your appetite. But he didn't tell you that how you're going to get to that place. He just showed you what he got for you. And the thing about Joseph, when God showed up in the dream, it was the presentation. We get excited in the presentation stages. Because we don't know what we're going to have to walk through to get to the destination. And so everybody gets excited when God gives them a promise. Say presentation. Woo. I'm going to paraphrase some of this stuff. So the first thing is the presentation statement. The second, Genesis 37:19-24, paraphrase. You can read it. Joseph is coming to his brothers, see what's going on. They see him afar off. They say, here comes that dreamer. That's what they said. They said, we're going to kill that rascal. Get rid of him once and for all. Yes, sir. Tired of him in his dreams. And Reuben had a little bit of sense. Reuben said, we can't kill him. That's our flesh and blood. Let's just throw him in the pit. You know, let's just throw him in the pit. And so Reuben, he tried to solve the problem because he was going to put him in the pit, sneak back and get him and let him go back home. Come on. Reuben said, let's just throw him in the pit. They said, okay, we're going to put him in the pit. So they put him in the pit, didn't have no water, nothing in the pit, just and Reuben came back, but he was gone. So they killed the animal and put the blood on his tunic and went back and told Jacob, a wild animal killed your son. That's right. And he went into grieving. But I just want to deal with that because we understand the presentation, but we don't understand the pit. And see, the pit says that there was no water in the pit. And see, when I look at scriptures, I look at it from a revelatory standpoint. Mean there was no water in the pit, meaning there was no word in the pit. So when God gives you the presentation, the enemy comes and puts you in a pit. If there is no word in the pit, there is no voice in the pit. And if there is no voice in the pit, heaven is silent. So after the presentation, then heaven becomes silent and you become frustrated because you're in a dark place and it seems like nobody's talking to you. You're in a dark place and you don't have no water. Your throat is dry. You don't have any food. You don't have any substance. And you're crying out to God and you can't hear him because there is no word in the pit. In the pit, you're going to have to rely on the presentation. That's right. Because if God sent the presentation, he'll preserve me in my pit. The reason the devil can't kill you is because God is giving you a promise. So I have to rely on the promise even when I'm in the pit. I can't trace God. God is always silent during the test. The teacher never talks during the test. And in the pit, that's your greatest test because you can't hear heaven. That's good teaching. Oh, God. Right now, you helping me. You can't hear heaven in the pit. And then we go to Genesis chapter 39, verses 1-4. Well, let me back up a little bit. While he was in the pit, Reuben went to try to figure out his plan. A group of Ishmaelites came. And so they said, we'll just sell them and get rid of them. They'll take them to Egypt. We won't even have to sell them no more. Problem solved. The dreamer is gone. So the Ishmaelites came. They sold them into slavery. The Ishmaelites took them to Egypt. They sold them to Potiphar. Potiphar began to put him in a place of authority and noticed that God was blessing him because of Joseph. Yes. That's right. When there is a dream attached to your life, God will begin to bless everything you associate with. That's why you got to be careful how you handle a dreamer. Because if I handle a dreamer right, then God will bless me because of Brown. He's in Potiphar's house. Potiphar gives him everything except his wife. You over my whole household. So Potiphar is going out of town doing business. Potiphar's gone for weeks at a time. Joseph running the house, no problem. And one day, Mrs. Potiphar finally looks up and said, that boy's fine. That boy's fine. I got to have him. And she came up with her demonic scheme. And she got him one day hemmed up. And she said, lie with me. And he said, you know what? I can't do that. My master has given me everything in this house but you. And I can't betray him or God. And the Bible says that Joseph ran out the house and left his coat.
Yes.
Now, this wasn't the coat that his father gave. This was the coat that Potiphar put on.
Yes, yes.
Now, I want to deal with this because Joseph could have settled in Potiphar's house.
Yes, sir.
Oh, God.
Don't let him use you, Father.
Joseph could have settled because he was blessed there.
Yes. Say that again.
He could have settled in Potiphar's house because he was blessed there. God was blessing Joe and he was blessing Potiphar. And he could have settled and say, all of my troubles are over. All of my rainy days are gone. I got it going on living up in the palace. I can enjoy this. But he would not betray God. He would not betray his master. So even though he was in a good place, he realized it was not the final place. Even though he realized I'm in a good place, I got it going on, but he had a revelation, this is not the final place. And sometimes we get stuck. We get stuck in a good place and don't realize this is not the God place. It's easy to get stuck in a good place. You're making good money. You know, you're driving a good car. You got a good man. But just because you're in a good place doesn't mean that's the God place. So when Potiphar came home, she told Potiphar that, look at this Hebrew you bought in the house. He tried to rape me. And when I screamed, he left his coat. One coat was taken. One coat he left. Sometimes you got to leave some stuff behind in order to get to your next level. And so Potiphar didn't believe his wife. I'm going to bust your theology up tonight. Potiphar took him and had him put in prison. According to Egyptian custom, he should have been killed. That's right. Potiphar said, I know that helper line. You might prefer slaves. I'm sorry. Was that too much? Let me get back forward. That was my west side. I am from the west side. But Potiphar said, I know that chick. That some of y'all have that chick line. I ain't gonna ruin this young boy's life. Let me just have him put in jail. Because God with him, it doesn't matter where you put him, a dreamer is gonna excel. You can put him in Potiphar's house, you can put him in prison, you put him in, it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't, see, you getting it twisted. You're trying to put me in places. You physically put me in places that's too small for my anointing. So it doesn't matter where you put me, you can't constrain me because what's on me is greater than what you're trying to put me in. So he could have settled at Potiphar. Now we got to read this, y'all. Genesis 39, 19 through 21. Genesis. Stop getting mad because you keep getting shifted around. It's all right. It's all right. Genesis 39. You there?
Go.
19. It says, now when his master heard the word, now this is the prison guard, this is the leader of the prison. When the master heard the word, no, that we're in the wrong place. Okay, that is, okay, he had him thrown in prison, but the Lord was with him and extended kindness. Okay, let's go to Genesis 39, verse 20. Genesis 39 and 20. It says, Joseph's master took him and put him in jail, the place where the king's prisoners, please underline kings, prisoners, were confined. And he was there in the jail, 21, but the Lord was with Joseph and extended kindness to him and gave him favor in the sight of the chief jailer. It didn't matter where they put him. God was still with him, giving him favor. God was hooking his boy up no matter where he went. And so, listen, he had to go to prison because that was the place of his divine connection.
Oh, now, come on. All right, come on. Okay, you got that.
Pharaoh's servants was in the jail. They was not in the palace.
You better say it.
True.